star Elijah Wood has found humor in a bizarre theory about The Lord of the Rings involving his character Frodo and fellow Fellowship member Legolas Greenleaf. The beauty of Peter Jackson's first Lord of the Rings movie, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, lies in the unlikely group of allies setting out on a dangerous, life-altering journey together. Hobbits, elves, dwarfs, men, and wizards usually don't mix, but in this case, they all had a common goal and found common ground. Sean Bean's Boromir found friendship with the hobbits. John Rhys-Davies' Gimli came to an understanding with the elves. And yet, according to one peculiar yet hilarious Lord of the Rings theory, two members of the Fellowship barely knew each other. During an interview with Screen Rant's Ash Crossan at San Diego Comic-Con for their upcoming remake of cult horror comedy The Toxic Avenger, Elijah Wood, co-star Peter Dinklage, and director Macon Blair discussed one of the more amusing Lord of the Rings theories floating around on the internet. Is it possible that Frodo didn't know Legolas' name? Frodo doesn't speak Elvish. Elijah Wood as Frodo in The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. As Wood mentioned during the interview, at the end of The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, there's an extended, slow-motion sequence where the entirety of the Fellowship is reunited with the sickly but heroic Frodo. Each member of the Fellowship enters his room in turn, but, as the theory points out, the only one Frodo doesn't mention by name is Legolas, Orlando Bloom. Is it possible that Frodo never learned Legolas' name? I had to re-watch the Council of Elrond scene in Fellowship. Elrond, Hugo Weaving, introduces Frodo by name. Gandalf calls out Boromir and tells him to calm down. Legolas, of course, brazenly reveals Aragorn's, Viggo Mortensen, real identity to the entire congregation. When Gimli tries to crack the One Ring, Elrond calls him by his full name, too. Legolas is mentioned by name, though it's easy to miss, Frodo may well have missed it, too. After Legolas' brave defense of Aragorn, Aragorn essentially tells him to calm down in Elvish, uttering his friend's name at the end. Since Frodo doesn't speak Elvish, it's entirely possible that he thought Legolas was just another random Elvish word rather than the elf's actual name. Our take on this hilarious Lord of the Rings theory. It's unlikely but highly amusing. I'm choosing to believe Frodo was under the impression that Legolas was just an Elvish word. I love the idea that, after they survived the grueling ordeal of traversing snow-capped mountains and being chased by orcs, Frodo felt too awkward to ask Legolas for his name, resorting to nodding at him awkwardly instead. Of course, it's more likely that Frodo learned Legolas' name at some point during their journey, and we just never get to hear him say it out loud. Perhaps he simply couldn't speak when Legolas walked into the room in all his elvish glory. Whatever the case may be, there's always room for more wild, tongue-in-cheek The Lord of the Rings theories.